Just like we have Chadushloki, this is 6 slokas. These 6 slokas in a synopsis completely contain the message of Sreemad Bhagavatam, the message of Krishna, the message of Mukti-skandham. So be very careful and very attentive. Yadidam manasa vaja chakshurbyam shravanadibihi nashwaram grihyamanam cha vidhi maya manomayam. See, all of you think that Srimad Bhagavatam is a book of devotion and God alone stands supreme there. We must develop unflinching and wholesome devotion to the Lord. And the whole universe is a beautiful play, a sportful expression of God. This is what many devotees think. But are you prepared to hear what Krishna himself speaks? And he speaks to Uddhava, the chosen devotee, the best among the devotees in the whole world of any time. What does he say here? Yadidam manasa vaja chakshurbyam shravanadibhi nashwaram grihyamanam cha vidhimaya manomayam. This is also a verse which you should recite any number of times, tirelessly. Whatever is being apprehended by you, received by you, sensed by you, yadidam, whatever here in this way, manasa vacha chakshurbyam shravanadibhihi grihyamanam, whatever is conceived by the mind, imagined by the mind, whatever is revealed or conveyed by the speech, by the tongue, chakshurbyam shravanadibhihi, whatever is apprehended or perceived by the senses, here the eyes, chakshurbyam shravanadibhihi, the other senses from ear onwards. So all the senses, eyes, ears, nose, tongue and skin, all these senses, in addition to that the mind, then whatever descriptions you are trying to make in whichever manner you like, making use of your word. So mind is included, tongue is included, all the 5 senses are included. By means of all these, yadidam grihyamanam, whatever is grasped, perceived, apprehended, comprehended here, imagined here. Nashwaram, nashwaram, everything is perishable, perishable. Everything is transitory, transitory, evanescent, short-living, momentary. After all, what is this world? This is a world which you perceive. What part of you is perceiving it? Your senses are perceiving. How many senses are there? 5. Can the senses work independently? No. They have to be employed and commissioned by the mind. And the mind is not a material part. It is not a physical or an energial component of the body. The mind, intelligence and ego are transcending matter and energy. They belong to the ken, if at all, of the spirit. They are the functional expressions or units of consciousness. And consciousness is not material or energial. It is completely different. So for our perceptions, we have externally the senses in the body. The world is what the senses make and report. Suppose you have no sensory organ, there will be no world at all. You generally think that the world is infinitely various and infinitely endless also. Though it is infinitely various and endless, when you try to interact with the world does not come to you. Your senses perceive the world. And the senses perceive the world by virtue of contact, sparsha. What is meant by contact? You see, I am seeing the sun at a distance, or you are seeing the sun at a distance. Then so many stars are being seen in the skies. How do you see them? You don't go to them, they don't come to you. The light rays proceeding from them, they pass through the atmosphere. The other objects which are nearby, the light rays falling on them are getting reflected. And these reflected rays come and touch the cornea. Before touching the cornea, suppose you intercept them by a thin film, you will not have any experience of vision at all. So even the vision is contact born. They will have to touch the cornea. Light rays will have to touch the cornea. The sound will have to touch the eardrum. The taste will have to touch the tongue. And the smell will have to go inside the nose. Then what about touch? It will have to touch your skin, anywhere in the body. So all experiences from the senses or perceptions of the senses are contact bond, contact bond, contact bond. And these senses make the infinite variety of the world a simple five and five alone. Where is all the variety of the world gone now? When you perceive them, when you contact them, they just, in our sensory perception or sensory interaction, what happens to the entire variety of the world, infinite variety? The whole infinitude disappears and everything gets reduced into a simple five sensations. Shabda, Sparsha, Rasa, Rupa, Gandha. This is the way we put it. Shabda means sound, Sparsha means touch, Rasa means taste, Rupa means color, and Gandha means smell. So everything gets reduced into these five, Pancha Tanmatras we call them. So our senses have the power of reducing the variety of the world, infinite variety of the world, into simple five. And when they go to the mind, all the five disappear and you only have either pleasantness or unpleasantness, happiness or misery, sukha or dukkha. So the entire world may be very huge, endless and infinitely various. When you experience them, they just become sukha and dukkha, pleasant and unpleasant. And these two are also not static. All this takes place only in the waking state. The moment you go to sleep, even sukha-dukkhas vanish, they are wiped off. The entire world imprints are wiped off. The world is wiped off and you go to sleep alone, alone, alone. That sleep is the subject state of the individual. One sleeps alone. He will say, I slept, I slept. That sleeping is an experience of the I and I alone. There is no I plus, there is no object there. So in that I-ness, there is no world, there is no object, there is no body, there is no mind, there is no intelligence. Nothing is there. So here he says, whatever you perceive, whatever you describe through words, whatever you think or imagine by the mind, whatever you perceive with the senses, all of them are first Nashwaram. Yadu idam manasa vacha chakshurbyam shravanadibhi grihyamanam Nashwaram. Mayamanomayam. Mayamanomayam. What does it mean? These sensory perceptions have no full validity or duration. They are completely depending upon your wakefulness, wakeful state. How long are you wakeful? Not for all the 24 hours of the day. 7 to 8 hours you sleep and the remaining hours alone you are wakeful. So out of the 24 hours of the day, almost 1/3 you are not wakeful. Because you are not wakeful, your senses do not perceive, your tongue does not speak, your mind does not think, your intelligence does not understand, your ego does not assert. Everything is paralyzed or become immobile. Not only that, in the sleep state, the entire wakefulness and wakeful effects are completely wiped off. Nothing happens to you. You still survive. As you survived in wakefulness, you also survive in sleep. To come back again to the wakefulness. So you cannot simply come to a verdict only on the basis of wakefulness. Take sleep into account. Take dream also into account. All the three are equally states of the individual, states of the mind, states of the spiritual presence in the body. So this one verse is very, very important. Vidhi Mayamanomayam. They are absolutely illusory, because they don't have a constant existence. They cannot be considered to be truly present, because anything that is true will be present in the present. It must have been present in the past. It should continue to be present in future in a uniform manner. Because that uniform presence and prevalence in all the three states is not there, you cannot call it real existence. At the same time, we experience it. We experience it. When we examine it, it is not real. So it is a vanishing existence. That vanishing existence is called illusory existence. Not only that, Krishna adds further. Manomayam, Manomayam, Manomayam. It is nothing but an extension of the mind. It is a mind display. It is a mind manifestation. It is nothing other than mind-born, mind-sustaining and mind-dissolving, as happens in the case of dream. In the case of dream, it intercepts the sleep. In the wakefulness, it intercepts the sleep and the dream. As the mind projects or extends the dream phenomena, at the end of the day, it also withdraws completely the whole experience and goes into sleep, totally invalidating and negating whatever you saw in the wakeful state. Again, if you have to see them, you have to come back to wakefulness again. As I used to explain earlier also, does the world wake you up or you wake up yourself? After you have woken up, you see the world. Who sees the world? Your senses show the world. And these senses are not made by the world, they are made by the power within your own body. So for the making of the senses, for making them perceive, the world does nothing at all. It has no active participation. Everything is done by yourself. So whatever is perceived through the senses, described or pronounced by the tongue, then again imagined or conceptualized by the mind. If, for example, you say happiness, what is this happiness? It is not a description of the eye, it is not a description of the ear, it is a description of the mind. It is a concept, an assessment of the mind. Misery, unhappiness, that is also equally so. So whatever is made by the mind, whatever is described by the tongue, and whatever is perceived by the senses, all of them are first perishable, transitory, next maya, illusory, and mind-born, mind-subsisting, manomayam. So the entire universe, the whole creation is mental, mental, mental. Apart from the mind, besides the mind, independent of the mind, it has no prevalence, it has no duration, it has got no relevance. What a great statement is this. Right in the beginning, Krishna says this. Why is he saying it? Because he wants to generate sufficient dispassion in the mind of Uddhava, so that he will be able to escape the calamity that is going to befall Dwaraka. Krishna is going to leave, and Uddhava cannot remain there any longer. Krishna has already called all his people, and let us go to Prabhasa Tirtha, he has said. And chariots are brought, horses are brought, immense loading is being done on the chariots, so that all of them can go to Prabhasa Tirtha and take bath there, redress all their sins, give a lot of gifts to Brahmana, feed them with the best of food. They have to escape the calamity, the sin. In such a situation, how can Uddhava continue? At the same time, he has his problem. He is not able to get away from there. Now, what is this attachment that you are referring to? Attachment to whatever the senses perceive. Now, understand from the level of your intelligence that all of them are perishable on the one hand. You yourself have a perishable body, perishable mind, perishable intelligence, perishable ego. With all these perishable elements, if you have further perishable objects, will the perishability increase or decrease? It will only increase. Now bring this understanding, bring this spiritual assessment, this appraisement. By the strength of this appraisement, you will have enough of dispassion to leave anything, any time in this world. There is nothing that cannot be left, but you have to educate the mind, illumine the mind, enlighten the mind, in order to pick up the dispassion. So the knowledge, the right knowledge and assessment are provided by Krishna. Yadidam manasa vaja chakshurbyam shravanadibhihi nashwaram grihyamanam cha vidhi maya manomayam. How many times should I say this? Vidhi maya manomayam. Vidhi maya manomayam. The life is not revolving on the world. The life is revolving on the individual. The individual is the pivotal point. He interacts with the world. The world may be numerous, innumerable. Objects may be there. But the individual is interacting. So the interaction proceeds from him when he wakes up. and the interactional inputs come to him, float on the mind. They conclude in the mind. So without the mind, the world has no existence. The interactions can have no relevance at all. The interactional impacts also is unthinkable without the mind. So the mind gives rise to, the mind sustains, and the mind dissolves. Manomayam. Understand it very well. This is what the Navayogis also said. They also said, Avidyamano pyavabhadihi dvayo dhyadurdhiya swapnamanorathau yatha tat karma sankalpa vikalpa gammano budho nirundhyat abhayam tadasyat. Avidyamano pyavabhadihi dvayo dhyadurdhiya swapnamanorathau yatha tat karma sankalpa vikalpa gammano budho nirundhyat abhayam tadasyat. Nimi Chakravarti was asking, what are the Bhagavata dharmas? The best and the correct devotional characteristics, devotee characteristics. The principles, virtues or perceptions which will really constitute devotion or which will make a good devotee. And Kavi, the first exponent of the 9, he was saying, Avidyamano pyavabhadihi dvayo dhyadurdhiya swapnamanorathau yatha. I have explained this sloka earlier also. I may do it again because I want you to understand this message of Srimad Bhagavatam. At least by my saying so many times, I would like you to learn, because you may not say, you may not recite. So the first word very clearly, avidyamanaha. This world about which you talk so much. We want gold from the world. We want energy from the world. We want space from the world. We want oceans from the world. We want land from the world. How much a fight is going on. The entire spirit of conquest and domination. It comes from the mind. About what? About this world. So the entire creation, not to speak of this earth, Kavi says, Srimad Bhagavatam says, Vedavyasa asserts, avidyamanaha. I don't think you require any other statement. Avidyamanaha means non-existent, nothing short of it. Though it is avidyamanaha, non-existent, avabhadi, still it appears before us. Our senses seem to be reading, senses seem to be perceiving, and it makes so many different colors, shapes, sounds, smells, etc. Why? Dvayo dhyadurdhiya swapnamanorathau yatha. What is this dvaya, the two? The subject on the one hand and the seeming object different from the subject. Then the interaction between the two. When we sleep, there was no object at all. There was no body, no senses, nothing. When we wake up, suddenly we become I, my body, my senses. And through the senses, I perceive. Either you call it duality, plurality, or manifoldness. Whatever you may call it. That dvayaha, dhyadurdhiya. Dhyadurdhiya. What does it mean? The perceiver's intellect. In all the perceptions, darshanas, the drashta's intelligence is what matters. If your buddhi did not wake up and your buddhi did not employ the senses, then the objects would not have shown at all. Dhyadurdhiya. And how you may wonder, swapna manorathau yatha. What does it mean? In sleep you have a dream. In the dream you very clearly know nothing has crept inside the body. You are sleeping and the whole world is wiped off before sleep. You are not conscious or aware of your body or your mind or your intelligence or your dress or your cot or your bed or the people who sleep nearby, maybe a newborn baby. None of him or none of it you are aware of. But suddenly you have a dream. In the dream, a parallel world emerges. You see the world. You interact with the world as you will normally interact in the wakeful world. You have hunger, you have thirst, you appease the hunger, you appease the thirst by going for dream food, dream drink, etc. After the whole thing is over, suddenly you wake up. The dream is broken. Till then the whole objects were there, you were there, many were there. The entire many was caused only by your mind, only by your consciousness. How did the one consciousness make so many objects and the object world? In the same manner, the same consciousness, the dreamer. Who was the dreamer? The same person is now the waker. The same person is going to be the sleeper also. So that waker, by waking, he again brings about a differential world. In dream, apparently the whole world was inside the body. Now when you wake up, the same consciousness brings about a differentiation between outside and inside, exterior and interior. The exterior-interior division is made by your mind, and the externality is perceived inside the body. When I say the world outside me, it is a perception in my mind. Outside world and inside mind. The distinction between outside and inside, that itself is created by the mind. Otherwise there is no outward at all. Similarly, Manoratha. What is Manoratha? Daydream. Suppose you are sitting and then thinking and thinking. Many imaginations come to you. Many imaginations come to you. And all these imaginations are, a poor man may imagine riches. I have 3 horses, 2 elephants, half a dozen cars. All of them I have given on rent. Oh, very good. See, all these are taking place inside, in Manoratha manner, daydream. How the single mind inside the body imagines and produces the dream. Exactly in the same manner, the waking also is the production of the same mind. Avidyamanopyavabhadihi dvayo dhyadurdhiya swapnamanorathau yatha. There it was Kavi who was giving instruction to Nimi Chakravarti. Here it is Krishna who gives instruction to Uddhava. But the message is the same, the content is the same. Both of them are underscoring the supremacy of the mind, the superiority of the mind. Tat karma sangalpa vigalpa gammano. This mind is the one generating or initiating activity. It is the one which produces a number of imaginations and imaginative assessments. It is the one that undergoes a lot of misery in the hands of its own imagination, a lot of delight also. So the mind itself is karma sankalpa vigalpagam manaha. The mind which is nothing but sankalpa, vigalpa and karma. The mind itself is giving rise to activity. The mind itself is receiving the activity results or outcomes. That mind, full of karma, sankalpa and vigalpa, Buddha, the man of discrimination, discretion, nirundhyad. He must learn to restrain the mind, Abhayam tadasyat. Then he can become fearless, fear-free rather. Just see, the whole world has got no significance. The significance is only for the mind, which is within your body, accessible only to you, not to anybody else. Comparing the huge world on the one hand and your invisible mind inside the limited body, Sreemad Bhaagavatam says, Krishna says, what? This mind within your body is far superior and the only creator so far as the creation is concerned. Avidyamanopyavabhadihi dvayo dhyadurdhiya swapnamanorathau yatha tat karma sankalpa vigalpa gammano buddho nirundhyat abhayam tatasyat. So the test for your viveka, the test for your Srimad Bhagavata devotion or addiction consists in what? Understanding the exclusiveness of the mind the supremacy of the mind, the superior role of the mind, understanding the whole creation. For it, the creator is the mind. And the world is in reality non-existent. 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 It is unreal to the core. It is illusory, full measure. I am reminded of one or two pet verses of mine from Yoga Vasishtha Ramayana. I have recited these from so many platforms. And my listeners have been very much enthralled by these verses. Many of them heard it. Whether they understood is a different matter. But the very hearing was so exhilarating to them, ecstatic to them, pacifying, appeasing, delighting to them. Sankalpajala kalanaiva jagat samagram Sankalpajala kalanattu mano vilasaha Sankalpajala malamusruja nirvikalpam Ashritya nischayam avapnuhi Ramashantim Sankalpajala malamusruja nirvikalpam Ashritya nischayam avapnuhi Rama Shantim Sankalpajala kalanaiva jagat samagram. What better pronouncement and description do you look for? Samagram jagad, the whole jagat, the whole universe, with all its multi-splendorous display. Sankalpajala kalanaiva.